years here. I apologize. I learned this morning it's really 34 years in the insurance industry. So Bart brings with him a wealth of knowledge and experience, and I'm very excited to bring you to the table here, Bart, and have you introduce yourself to our group and tell us a little bit more about who you are and why you're here today. Oh, and you might be muted right now, so I would be taking a look at that microphone. There you go.
Well, Kim, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I often say that I've been doing this for a lifetime, and I wished I'd have gone back and started with country 34 years ago. That's how much this company means. It's one of the best companies I've ever seen that delivers on the promise. I am a blended family. My wife Jerry and I have been married 13 years. We have 4 children and 2 grandchildren. I enjoy what I do for a living. That's usually the best thing about it. I get to get up every morning and help people, and that's about the highest calling you can have. I'm also an avid archery shooter. I also hunt that way. We live in Southwest Georgia on a farm, and of course, we get the opportunity to do that on our own farm and hunt. And I'm also a cattleman. I have a pretty decent size for our area commercial cattle herd. So those are the things that kind of crank my motor, other than my Lord and Savior Jesus, which I'm going to be proud to say something about that. I am excited to talk to folks about Driver IQ. It has put us back in the auto insurance market again. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of the things that I've learned over the times that I've used it and have used it with my clients.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for giving us a little bit of a background of where you started and where you are today. So speaking of that, Bart, let's go ahead and start back to Driver IQ. How has your perspective on this shifted over time? So perhaps when you first learned about it, was there any hesitation at first? And how has that changed over time?
I guess I've been blessed. I've always kind of taken change in stride. And I knew if we were going to use Driver IQ, that I needed to know it. So probably the first week it was available in the great state of Georgia, I downloaded it. And I put it on my personal vehicle and off I ran. Quite frankly, at first it was a little glitchy. It was pretty harsh, to say the least. But as Jeff and his team have done such a wonderful job in improving it, it has truly come along. And my whole aspect of who to offer it to and who not to offer it to and that type of thing has completely changed. We quote everything. I mean, everything. And I mean, I do a lot of farm down here where you'll have 30, 40 vehicles on a single policy, and you'll have multiple drivers, and they're driving all the time. I mean, everywhere. I mean, it's 30,000 miles a year on a single vehicle, so that kind of thing. And we're offering it to them. I mean, gosh, worst case scenario, they get 5% off. I mean, it's 5% they didn't get yesterday without it. So that's pretty much how everything's done. But with the current rate structure we have and adding that, it has absolutely made it a lot. We're writing all the good insurance again. That's a plus.
Absolutely. You're taking advantage of a great discount. Like you said, worst case, it's 5% off, and it can only go up from there. So that's a fantastic way of looking at it. Thanks for sharing. So what specific experiences or support helped you build your confidence and your comfort level with Driver IQ? It sounds like over time, we've really reinforced that confidence in this product. So can you share a little bit more about that?
Absolutely, Kim. I spent a lot of time in the app itself. I probably going to be jumping ahead or all over the place, but it kind of goes with the flow of what we do here. we actually give a class on it. So if we sign somebody up new for, we set up an appointment, say, you know, if the folks could come in and sit down, you know, I pulled up here. But I take mine and I'll show them, you know, this is mine. I've used it. Let me explain to you how to use it. And so we kind of do a step-by-step thing. You know, the biggest thing is the more you know about it, the better you can understand how to affect and increase your savings. I tell them, you know, every Sunday morning when you sit down with your coffee first thing in the morning, flip through your each day what it recorded, you know. And so we kind of show them how to do that. I mean, I would say we're in rural South Georgia, and I mean 98% of people have a smartphone. Now, some of them don't use them as smartphones, but you know, you can educate them pretty quick on that constantly is running. So we've had great success with that, Kim.
So I'm hearing you say, well, I can talk about it because I use it myself. And it sounds like you've implemented a great best practice of sharing this with your clients, showing them and offering the idea of using it on Sundays. Are there any other best practices that you or your team have consistently followed when it comes to introducing or managing the driver IQ with your clients?
Well, we encourage them to talk to us about it, especially the first month they have it. You know, if they come in and say, look, you know, I'm down to 1%. Well, I say, let's take a look and see. You know, again, we're in a business where contact is key. The more we see people, the more comfortable they are with us, the more things that it opens up for other lines of business. But if you hold their hand a little bit, they get used to it. It's so funny. Most of them get really competitive with their spouse. It's hilarious. My wife and I are very competitive, but when it comes to this, you know, she's actually kicking my butt right now. And but I'll get her back. She drives like Mario Andretti. But you know, it's just this thing about, you know, don't mess with our discounts. You know, so it's that I hate to take that from somebody else, but we work hard at doing that. We do, like I said, spend a lot of time calling people. When we get that first little notification that says, you know, they haven't logged in or they haven't done this, front office staff picks up the phone and calls. Hey, are you having problems where you're at? You know, were you able to get it loaded? You need to come in and get that taken care of. You know, and everybody pitches in from it. Everybody in the office does that. I mean, if somebody comes in and they need some help and I'm not busy, I take care of it, Susie or so forth. So it's just something that we're really pushing hard
on. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. And I especially love the competition within your family. And don't mess with my discount here, right? Yeah. That is too fun. So can you share any client success stories or feedback from clients that's really stuck with you about driver IQ?
Well, like I said, pre-meeting today, I had a statement meeting with a couple that's been with us for years. And that's one of the first things he did. He pulled up his telephone. He said, held it up there and he said, see this? He said, look what I'm doing now, because it was awful. He speeds everywhere. And it's now at 15%. So it's doing, Jeff, it's doing what it's supposed to. It's making them a better driver. And with that happening, you know, we're doing nothing but good for them and good for the company. But that was a great success story. Of course, he was wanting to know, he's got grandchildren live across the street that are on the driver. Can we put them on driver IQ? And I said, well, they don't have the same address. I mean, we could put them on there. I mean, it's just, we're not going to get the good off of it because they don't live in the household. They're listed operators. But, you know, and then also, let me go back. You did say something about past practices. Just came to me, and I wanted to share this with everybody as well. Knowing those discounts, knowing what they do on the primary vehicle that their operators own. You know, our biggest hurdle in I guess about a year ago, was people coming in and saying, well, look, mine says 15%. I didn't see where we got 15% off of our total auto premium. Well, luckily, and I can't remember if it was Jeff or somebody else, I had asked a question, and was told, it's on liability, uninsured motorists, comp and collision. Those are the things that you get the discount on. The rest of them are fixed costs, and it's only on the vehicle that you are a primary operator on. So your more cars than the driver discount is much greater than what the driver IQ is, and you can explain that to them. When you do that, the kind of light bulb kind of goes off, and then they start seeing, okay, yeah, I get it, that type thing. So that was just one of those practices that I forgot to say.
Yeah, that's a great one right there. Okay, so one more thing I want to ask you while I still have you on the line here is, how has Driver IQ helped you deliver the lowest, most accurate quote? Because I know that's what we all want to strive for, right? We want to present our best foot forward for each client. So what impact has this had on your business when you're thinking through and presenting that lowest, most accurate quote?
We've really bought into the 4-stack. Quoting with every driver with a driver IQ, quoting and paid in full, quoting, with a multi-policy discount, and putting everything on there to give them our best rates. When they see that, of course, on the quote, it has all the breakdowns, and they can make the choice then. It's not saying, well, it's another $200 for 6 months because we're quoting it monthly premium. We give them our best foot up front, and it's incredibly cool. We've actually used this, and it's worked several times now. Basically, you could pay on a credit card a 6-month premium and pay it off monthly, and pay less in interest on the credit card than you would for the discount that comes off of, especially on ones that have, multiple operators and multiple vehicles on the policy. And using that, just throwing it out there, knowing that you're able to give them that better rate, I'll say, than you would if you were just quoting straight monthly.
Yeah. That is really eye-opening when you think of it from that lens. So, well, thank you so much for sharing. I know that there have been questions popping into the Q&A already that we're going to be releasing here shortly. So I know that this has been really valuable as to what you bring. There's nothing more than a great testimonial from someone who's alongside you as a peer who's using this and having it work for them. So really appreciate your time. Everyone drop a reaction to thank Bart for his time today. I really do appreciate you and have enjoyed our time together prepping for this call today. And I just know that we're going to get a lot more feedback from this. So appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks. Yeah.
But now we're going to shift gears a little bit and bring to the table Jeff Riblett. He's going to be talking through the overview for us. And I want to encourage everyone, continue with your questions, but you might get your question answered while Jeff's talking and sharing through a lot of great content here. So you might even just want to jot down your question on a piece of paper and then wait to submit it at the end, because there's a good chance he could answer it in these next few minutes as he takes control here and shares his slides today. So just want to make that note. We will be leaving about 30 minutes of question and answer at the end of this call. So we do hope to get to most of your questions today. Okay, so Jeff, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Kim. Great to be here. Thanks for everybody for joining.
Absolutely. If you'd like to take control of the screen, tell us a little bit as you get started first. I'd love to know, and for those of us on the call that maybe don't know your background a little bit, how long have you been with Country in the current role that you're in as a product consultant for the auto team? Want to share anything else that would be pertinent to your background? We'd love to hear it.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been with Country now just over 7 years, and I've been with Driver IQ since we launched the pilot in 2019. Hard to believe it's been that long already. So yeah, it is my sole focus. I always say that we all care about our clients' responsibilities or our clients' experiences, and my responsibility on the auto product team is our reps' experience with Driver IQ, making it a favorable experience for them and our clients. So anytime we have an issue or a problem, something needs addressed, I need to know about it, because if I don't know what the issues are, I can't fix them, right? I think we have a pretty good track record here going on lists of enhancements we've made to improve the client rep experience. And we're going to continue to do so. But yeah, if ever there's anything that you guys aren't comfortable with, or just doesn't, you're struggling with, bring it to me, let me know. We will get it resolved for you. So, yeah, Kim, thanks for that. I want to jump in quickly here. Most of you that know me know I usually have more to say than time allows, and today is not going to be any different. So we definitely want to leave time at the end for Q&A, but part of this is to show you guys content to make sure you're familiar with a lot of the tools and resources that are available to you guys out there. So I'm going to start off quickly here with the Driver IQ SharePoint site. You can bookmark this and refer to it. You can also reference it through the Navigator tool, which I'll cover here in a couple seconds as well. But the Driver IQ SharePoint site is really your one-stop shop, anything and everything Driver IQ. We put, new, so for example, our Q&A session, we post that at the top of the page here. Any agents news article around Driver IQ with content is referenced on the right-hand side. You can go back and look at those. The tools for you, the troubleshooting guide, reference guide, the tip sheet, the client checklist, those are all located here as well. You can reference Q&A or the FAQs. These are the same FAQs that are on CF.com, as well as inside the Driver IQ app. And when you continue to scroll down, you'll see drop downs here with a lot of additional information available for you. Definitely encourage you guys check out the Lori Adams videos. She did a great job. This is a classic scenario of skeptic turned believer and advocate of Driver IQ. She had very good reason to kind of be anti-Driver IQ early on. But again, we kind of addressed her issues, and she is fully on board now and singing the praise. So definitely want to encourage you guys to check out her videos in there. But as we get relevant information and updates to make sure you guys are aware of, in addition to news articles, etc., we're going to post some here. So you can simply reference them, drop down, and get more information on that particular topic. So definitely check out the SharePoint site. Again, you can bookmark it or reference it through the Navigator tool, which I'll show you here in a minute. I want to spend a couple minutes talking about two resources in particular here. Number one being the client checklist. This is by far the tool you should be familiar with. You want to familiarize yourself with this for two reasons. Number one, this really should guide your enrollment conversation with clients. This tells you everything you need to convey to the client when you enroll them, when they're at your desk or on the phone, and they've enrolled in the program. First and foremost, make sure they know they need to download the app and provide trips within 30 days. That's the first eligibility criteria. Number two, after that, at least one trip every 30 days thereafter. Make sure they're aware of that. It goes into information around why we have to say they need to always allow location and service permissions. And I'll say real quick here, and I won't go into too much detail. I can, but I don't have time. That does not mean they are always allowing country to track the real-time location. We do not track real-time location of Driver IQ. The app is not capable, nor do we have any business need to know where our clients are. So anyway, you can give this information to the clients proactively. So when they do get prompts to disable location services, they're going to know, nope, I can't select only while using the app. I have to select always allow. This is something tangible you can give to them. But again, when you hand this to them, when they leave your office or you email it to them, it's really just a repeat of what you've already conveyed to them at that enrollment conversation. And then finally, just letting them know, hey, if they need help, if something comes up, they can contact us for support. But also, too, if their discount is at risk, if there's an issue causing them their app to not provide trip data, they go inactive, we're going to send them a text. If they get that text, let them know, don't delete it, don't ignore it. We're not soliciting them. We're not trying to upsell them. We're not trying to do anything other than create that awareness that your discount's at risk. We're trying to proactively avoid that loss of discount scenario. So I hear all the time, hey, they pay attention to the text that says we've removed your discount. That's the one they finally care about and call you guys. but it's too late at that point. So if we can get them to just pay attention to those texts up front proactively, we can avoid those situations altogether. But again, this is a client checklist. Highly encourage you guys, familiarize yourself with this. This will prepare you to have the proper enrollment conversation, but also something tangible your clients can have in their hands to reference for to determine the eligibility requirements and number one, become active, and number two, remain active. The second one quickly here is the troubleshooting guide for Driver IQ. Phone permission settings are the number one reason you lose clients to an activity. The number one reason they lose a discount. You can see here, iPhone is very simple. This is all it takes. This can take less than 1 minute for our clients to self-service, diagnose, and resolve those issues. It really can be very simple, but we have to give them the tools to do so. And this is a tool to walk them through each individual menu setting to confirm that the required permissions are enabled. iPhone's very simple. Android's a little more complicated, but yet all the steps are right here. So again, when you have a client that's calling you, or maybe they don't understand why they keep getting notified that their discount's at risk, they're inactive, you can shoot this to them as a PDF or print out, hand it to them, and in less than usually 1 or 2 minutes, they can diagnose the issue and get their app back on track and keep that discount alive. So highly encourage you guys, utilize these tools. Again, we're on the Driver IQ SharePoint site. I'm gonna stop sharing here, jump back into the app, or into the slide deck. And let's see, is it coming up? I see the.
Yeah, Nicole's gonna pull it right up.
Okay.
One moment, sorry about that, guys.
There it is.
Perfect.
Okay. We'll take a look. We'll jump into. All right. Couple new resources. We want to make sure you guys are aware. This is added just about 2 weeks. If you have, I've had requests from time to time. And this has come up in multiple outreach sessions. Hey, can I have a history? See what my clients are not. You have that now. So in the PAS personal lines policy list, we've added a Driver IQ filter. You can filter through households that have all the clients enrolled, some clients enrolled, or no clients. So as they approach their renewal dates, you can filter to see which clients you may want to offer Driver IQ to, and whether if they're enrolled or not, or maybe one operator's enrolled, if there are 2 or 3 others that aren't enrolled. You'll have that information available to you and get this, you can offer this enrollment in Driver IQ to maximize this discounts as it begins to renew. So just want to make sure you guys are aware that tool's out there. Secondly, the Navigator tool I mentioned earlier. So this is one that we implemented late last October, and we communicated through news articles, etc. But as we've kind of conducted these live outreach in-person road shows we've been presenting, I've asked for a raise of hands just to see how many of you knew this tool was even out there. And it was very shocking how few hands were raised. You guys don't even know this tool is out there. So if you do, this is repeat information, but if you don't, this will be a time saver for you. In Navigator on the policy image screen, again, the policy image screen is where this information is located. You can also access this through your rep notifications, which I'm circling with my mouse at the top of the screen. You guys know what those notifications look like. That policy number is a link. If you click that policy number, it takes you to the policy image screen. On the policy image screen, in your households with enrolled drivers, each driver will have their own header bar that's going to be collapsed by default. It will tell you at a glance if they're active or inactive. You can drop down that header bar and you see a lot of information available to you that did not have available before. You can see when you enrolled them. You can tell if they've completed their app setup. You can tell how many days it's been since they've driven. You can see their current discount, which is on their policy for that 6-month term. And you can also see their projected discount, which they're on track to save at their next renewal. And we update that every day in here for you guys and also in the app clients. If they have a phone permission problem, we're going to tell you what that problem is. We're going to at least alert you to the fact that there is a phone permission setting problem. So if there is, you're going to know what that is when you reach out to contact that client. So the second benefit to this enhancement is If you want a quicker, more efficient way to contact your inactive clients, if you're already doing that, you want a way to do it. But there are a lot of you that simply don't do it because you don't have the time. Your staff doesn't have the time. Here is the easiest way we can come up with for you to contact these clients with one click of the mouse. Okay. Well, two, because you click the policy number to go to policy image, and then you open this screen. If your clients are inactive, there will be a send email function that's enabled green. You click that send email, it sends an email to the client on your behalf. It has program eligibility information reminders, but also those phone troubleshooting steps I showed you earlier, they're included in that email as well. So one click of the mouse, you send that client an email. It gives them all the steps they need to fix their issue. And we also timestamp that when you sent that email to the client. So you know exactly when and how often you communicated to them that their discounts at risk. And one quick FYI for you. On new enrollments, if you go in and you get the notification that says they've not completed setup within 3, 10, 21 days, you guys are familiar with those, you want to use this tool, well, because they have not set up the app yet, there will not be a send email function enabled because we don't have their email address. So if you go to use this on new enrollments, they have not provided their email address yet, so you would have to use you can use Live Agent, or you can call or send a regular email to them as well. Okay. Next, first and foremost, the scoring model is everywhere except for Alaska. We'll be in Alaska effective 12/1. Alabama's coming up next month, actually. So the non-behavioral components are gone, will be gone soon. For the majority of you, they've been gone for a while. We had this impacting the majority of our discounts. Mark talked about some frustrations early on with Driver IQ. This is one that really crippled us out of the gate with Driver IQ because we had clients driving very well, if not perfectly safe, receiving single-digit discounts because of this non-behavioral component undermining their discounts. So we've revised that. We have a new scoring model in place. Most of you are on that. So that's one of those huge pain points, high volume, high impact, that was really kind of hurting us, crippling our program. So just want to make sure you guys have an update on that. And then secondly, this is the game changer number 2 in terms of the impact it has on you and our clients' experience with Driver IQ. Today, you guys all know what happens when clients go inactive. They hit the renewal, they get unenrolled, the discount gets removed. We are introducing, we'll be going in, planned for 12/1 this December 1st, where clients will no longer be unenrolled. That means you enroll a client, they'll enroll indefinitely unless they choose to voluntarily opt out. But if they go inactive, you do not have to re-enroll them. And then secondly, once they do reactivate, whether it's a month, 3 months, 6 months, it doesn't matter. As soon as they start receiving trip data, they're going to get the discount added back automatically. Automatically means nothing needed from you, or not needed for anything. The discount goes back within 30 days. No more waiting 4, 5, 6 months to the next renewal. They get it back at the end of every month. So we run a batch process. We'll run the last Saturday of the month. Let's say that last Saturday is the 30th of the month. You have a client that reactivates after a year on the 28th of the month. They're getting their discount back in 2 days. No more 4, 5, 6 months. No more waiting to renewal, and no more awkward conversations for you guys telling your clients, "Hey, I need you to re-enroll, but by the way, no discount for you until your next renewal." So that's going to be gone. And there will only be 2 discounts. It's either 10% or performance-based. No 5% re-enrollment. It doesn't matter. You don't have to time the re-enrollment with renewals, et cetera, et cetera. All that complexity, it's going to be gone. So look for more to come. We'll communicate this heavily, obviously for obvious reasons, so you guys know, and we can let our clients know exactly what's changing and what's improved here. All right, going to quickly hit some tips and best practices before we jump into Q&A here. Again, when it comes to enrollment, I've mentioned enrollment conversation. You'll hear me say that all the time in these live outreach communication training sessions. Use a consistent approach. Use that Driver IQ client checklist. That should form your enrollment conversation. And when you hand that to the client or email to them, it just reiterates everything that you've already communicated to them. But use a consistent approach. You can also proactively provide them with that troubleshooting guide as well. Should they have problems down the road, give them that troubleshooting guide. They have exactly what they need to diagnose and fix that issue. Critical, only use the client's correct phone number. This was an issue early on. It's not such an issue now, but it still happens. We cannot enter invalid, mocked up phone numbers. It has to be the client's correct phone number. Because if you use your own phone number or just an invalid made up number, you're doing nothing but setting your clients up for an unfavorable experience and yourself for an unfavorable experience. Again, only use their correct number. If you don't have their correct number at the time, put a timeout on the enrollment, wait till you get it before you issue that transaction. If you do get a mobile number already in use error because they were previously enrolled on a policy in another household or on another policy, it usually takes a day or two for us to get that resolved. But when you see that error, we have a process in place on the back end to get that resolved. Just let the client know. When you see that message pop up in Navigator that the number is already used, just let the client know, hey, give us a day or two to get this resolved. We have to resync the data with our vendor. But once it's resolved, they will receive that activation text. So let them know it's all good. You'll get a text when it's fixed. Once they get it, make sure they know what to do in setting up that app and providing trips within 30 days. Okay, we talked about the Navigator function. Make sure you check for that send email function. It's a huge time saver for you guys. I can't stress enough. That information is really, it's been a game changer for us. We've had a lot of positive feedback around that tool. Just want to make sure you know it's there and it's available to you. Encourage your clients to engage with the app. Data shows, again, this is something that the app, we don't want clients to feel they have to babysit the app, but yet if they engage with the app, you have that feedback right in front of them on what they need to do to improve their drive behaviors and maximize that discount. We have data to confirm that clients that engage with the app at least 3 times per week have 65% fewer risk events. They have fewer heartbreaking, speeding, phone distraction events because of the feedback that provides. So if your clients want to maximize that discount, they're not happy with their current discount, let's get them engaged with the app and use that feedback to maximize that. And then you guys are not in this thing alone. You know that by now. We're always here to help you guys. We have these the outreach sessions where I will attend your DL meetings, go into more of a deeper dive, even deeper than today. This is still pretty high level stuff today just because of time. But we'll go into more of a deeper dive around best practices, et cetera, around driver IQ. So I'm always available for those. Have your DL reach out to me and get those scheduled. We're going to continue with these Q&A sessions like we're doing today, and also make sure that your clients and you guys know that the CSC is always available to help you as well. So with that, I'm going to jump into the Q&A. So Kim, you want to take control back and jump into it?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for going through that overview. I promised you guys a lot of great information. I think there's some questions that are in the chat already or the Q&A already right now that may have already been addressed. So I just want to call that out there. So Mary and Brett, you'll look at your comment. I did ask you if your questions have already been answered based on what you just shared. So if you want to pop back in there and get back to me there, I appreciate that. Also, Deanna had just added a question about that cell phone number issue. So I'm not certain, Jeff, if there's anything else that you want to add there for clarification on if they do enter that wrong cell phone number into the system. I know that's maybe a common issue that has happened at this point.
Yeah, so if we have a duplicate number, first step is to confirm that the number is correct. Make sure it's the client's correct phone number. If it is, then we do have a process in place to resolve those issues. It usually takes a day or two to get everything corrected on the back end. But if you find out after you've enrolled clients that you've kind of flip-flopped clients' phone numbers within the household, we need to get the numbers corrected in PAS. So you'll have to issue a change. You need to issue a change within PAS to enter the correct phone numbers and then resubmit that. And once you do that, if you have 2 numbers transposed or 2 reversed, one will be corrected, but the other one's going to come back as a already in use error. And that's when we have that 1 to 2 day process to get it resolved on the back end. But first and foremost, just confirm that you have the correct phone number, get that entered in PAS, and then if there is an issue, we'll take it from there and we'll get it resolved quickly for the client.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that process, Jeff. So Tom and Amanda, just want to clarify the initial discount because there was some confusion as to was it the 5% or is it 10%? So what is the initial discount and how does the discount increase over time?
Yeah, great question. So the initial discount is always 10%. So any client that enrolls, they're gonna get 10% right off the bat, immediately upon enrollment. And then at their first renewal, the next renewal, they will transition to, if they remain active, okay, that's the caveat, they have to remain active. They will transition to the performance-based discount, which is strictly based on how safely they're driving. And that discount can range from 1% to 25%. And I have to say that you have to work equally as hard to get 1% as you do 25%. So if they drive just happily maintain decent, consistent drive behaviors, our average discount today is right around 12%. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to maintain that 10%. Every opportunity to improve up to 25%. Again, now that our new scoring model is implemented almost everywhere except for Alaska and Alabama, the clients are fully empowered to control their rates. They have full control over how much they save up to that 25% if they want to put forth the effort.
I like that. Thank you for sharing. So we've got someone asking here about Mike's question, and actually I want to make a note for everyone. We've seen a few hands raised. Obviously, at this point, your microphones are muted and your cameras are also disabled, so we can't call on anyone. The best way to get your questions entered and addressed are to use the Q